Humans have inhabited this planet for a long-ass time. According to some extensive research that I have personally conducted and paid for, we have been on this planet for about 300,000 years. Still not as old as other species and creatures that predate us like the dinosaurs, or some plants, or a US politician, or your mother. But in absolute terms, a very long time to wait. Over these millennia, we might not have grown to be the fastest or strongest to inhabit Earth, but through unparalleled endurance, complex social structures, capacity for intelligence, and a pair of these babies, we have grown to be the dominant species despite a relatively short time on the planet. And through this dominance, we have accelerated several aspects of our society. Health, agriculture, technology, faster than any other species could have ever dreamed. And if there's anything that SpongeBob has taught me, it's that our discovery of fire proved to be one of the crown jewels of our advancement as a species, allowing us to cook our food and harvest more nutrients from them. Probably also gave us like light and warmth and shit. But you can't eat light and warmth now, can you? Skip forward just a little bit and our society as we know it is flourishing more than ever. Phones are basically a necessity. Traveling to the other side of the planet originally took years. Now it could happen within a day or two, unless your plane was made by Boeing. All of these advancements are nice, don't get me wrong, but they just don't quite compare to the FryMaster FPRE 414TC high efficient. This baby can deep fry whatsoever your dreams can conjure. Chicken, done. Potatoes, say less. Human hair and fingernails, no problem. If that witch in the woods had one of these babies, Hansel and Gretel would be a much, much shorter story. Innovations like these truly hold up the fragile framework of modern society. And in the spirit of the calorically dense and pre-diabetic child within me, I wanted to explore the top-tier cuisines that only the most elite of palates can appreciate. Starting with... Few things on this earth can tickle my coochie more than a plate of buttermilk fried chicken with a side of mac, fresh biscuits, and some collard greens. Add a side of that
motherfucking cornbread right there.
And you got me licking my lips like how a rabid pit bull looks at the soft spot of a toddler's head. Growing up in the somewhat southern United States of America, soul food was always something that I could look to whenever I was craving some shit that was definitely bad for the body, but good for the spirit. This is canonically why it is called soul food probably. Definitely no other reason or history behind the name. Fried chicken is probably the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about soul food, and for good reason. There's probably a few thousand different iterations of the dish, but my favorite is definitely the version with a buttermilk batter and a double fry. Real classic and simple. Now, just imagine for a second. The chicken perfume grease caressing your lips, layers of flavor enveloping every square millimeter of your food orifice, crunchy skin crackling and reverberating inside your mouth, and the deeply seasoned flesh of the fowl you consume hitting every dopamine receptor in your brain, all after you say grace. I'm a little hungry if you couldn't tell. And I really enjoy good fried chicken. I mean, who doesn't? Some honorable mentions as per my script above. Biscuits go absolutely crazy. Mac and cheese, the baked kind with the cheesy crust and breadcrumbs on top. I personally like heavy hot sauce on my collard greens, and nothing, and I mean nothing, beats a side of that. Yes, I was a fat ass kid. And yes, I'm a fat ass adult. Now, I feel like this goes without saying, but without proper technique and love going into preparing any kind of food, not just soul food, it just won't taste as good. I can promise you that it tastes a world of difference. And remember that if you put inspirational quotes within your video, you will always sound more credible than you actually are. Being a proud Asian man, I love a good noodle dish. Stir-fried, cold, spicy, brothy, put in front of me and I'll probably eat it all. And out of the many, many noodle dishes from all over Asia, I love a good bowl of pho. Beautiful, collagen-rich, and gently spiced broth. Okay, I'm not doing this shit again. I know, kind of a basic bitch answer considering the vast selection all over the continent. But I'm not talking about no basic bitch pho from those super nice places where they put the English translation right next to the calorie count on the menu. No, I'm talking about pho from a slightly gentrified, hole-in-the-wall spot with a somewhat run-down parking lot. A menu where you're forced to order the number because you can't pronounce the name of the dish, and Vietnamese coffee that will have your hand shaking like a Parkinson's patient. These spots could serve you every piece of the cow with broth so flavorful you could just and a perfect blend of noodles and vegetables, all for a price that looks like it got passed up by inflation. This is where you get the real shit. Another one that I absolutely love is
bún bò Huế. Bún bò Huế.
because all the Vietnamese people on social media say it's better than pho, and as a non-Vietnamese person, I can confidently proclaim that
Bún bò Huế. Bún bò.
it's also good. I like them both, just depending on the day. These two noodle dishes have such a warm and homey feel to them. Perfect for any cold day, or any day that you want to eat some noodles. Or every day, if you're a freaky asshole. But high-key on God for real. Food like this with so much intention and care behind it, you can't help but appreciate the dish and the people that prepared it. There's just something special, I think, about a dish from a store run by a Vietnamese uncle or auntie working hard for endless hours, days on end, serving an authentic piece of their home and culture with everybody who walks through their doors. I am genuinely appreciative of any store owner who has welcomed me into their establishment and has served or even helped me pick out a dish. Even if I can't understand the Vietnamese being yelled from the kitchen to the front desk or any of the names of the staff, there's still a comforting sense of home emanating from any dish of restaurants like these. Japan is home to many cultural exports that impact a lot of the modern consciousness, especially in the modern day. You might have heard of anime, manga, and video games, but in addition to the typical surface level weeb and weeb adjacent awareness of its cultural impact, Japan has influenced the worlds of fashion, music, economics, birth rates, work culture, and most importantly for this video, cuisine. Sushi specifically has been a long-time favorite of mine since I wholeheartedly believe with all my dick balls and coochie that fresh fish clears any other protein out there when it comes to flavor. And what better pairing is there with fish than that sweet, sweet oriental crack? A great Japanese artist from the 1500s once said that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And I would wholeheartedly agree with Leo-san. Thank you, Leo-san. Sushi is not a very complicated dish if you think about it, really only made up of fish, rice, and seaweed. Or just fish and rice, or just fish. Complexity in this dish ultimately comes from technique and preparation. Well-prepared rice and fresh fish make a world of difference. This one is my favorite type of sushi. Slather on some wasabi and soy sauce. No, not you, I hate you. And you have one of the greatest creations we have achieved collectively as a species. In my opinion, the best sushi I've ever had aren't the super extravagant ones with a billion expensive things on it like gold or truffle or some shit. Like, why would you put that shit? But the ones that are humbler and honest in nature, because these are the ones that don't have a lot of fluff to hide behind and shows itself in a more natty lighting. Other stuff that I absolutely adore are kare and gyudon. Dishes that are quite straightforward and easy to make but are some of my favorites to eat. I think so much of the food that I often see garnering lots of attention on social media are very flamboyant and extravagant, almost like the cuisine is part spectacle and in some cases more spectacle than cuisine. Not to say that eating isn't a visual experience or can't be visually captivating in any way, but I think there should be a time and place. Isn't that right, Leo-san? Yes, that's right, Leo-san. You're so right. You're the best. Number 4 on my favorite food of all time, my girlfriend's. Shout out to my girlfriend. I need you right now. I think it goes without saying that Filipino food is the single most underrated type of food out there. And this is a fact in my opinion. Just listen to what culinary experts have to say about the best selection of cuisine in the entire world. Unless you're from one of these cities or work in the medical field or hang around a lot of Asians, you probably don't have a lot of experience around Filipino food or culture outside of Instagram Reels. Or you're racist, which is fine as long as we live our lives according to our true selves. If you aren't any of the above and not a racist, then you're well on your way to being that one uncle, sometimes auntie, at every Filipino gathering. Most of the Filipino food I enjoy are often slow-cooked or stewed pieces of meat with vegetables, and that alone probably knocks out a good percentage of all Filipino dishes. But out of all the ones that are near and dear to my stomach, bulalo is probably the nearest and dearest out of all of them. Beef shank is slowly braised in liquid until the bone marrow and collagen melt into the soup, and then it's decorated with leafy greens, sometimes potatoes, No bananas. I don't like the bananas all that much, I'll be honest. All on top of some sauteed aromatics and spices. I mean, what's not to love? Other great dishes that I enjoy are kare kare and menudo, and of course, adobo. Probably the poster child and most common entry point for a lot of first timers when they try Filipino food. This probably goes without saying that rice is undoubtedly the best pairing for these dishes. Well, why is that, you ask? Because rice has an innate ability to absorb a lot of that soup, provides a starchy pairing for a lot. It's because I'm Asian. The street food is also fantastic, especially barbecued chicken ass and innards, and probably the most infamous food out of all of them, which is balut. Yes, I like incubated duck embryo, especially with a little bit of salt and vinegar. You just break the shell and shoot it back like a shot of pro-choice liquid, and then eat all the remaining parts after. And if it wasn't obvious by now, I am Filipino, and proudly so. Having lived there for about 15 years of my life, Filipino food and culture has had and always will have a place in my heart. But why am I telling you this? So I can obviously use Filipino bait in my videos in an ethical and responsible manner. On a more serious note, I do genuinely believe that Filipino food is severely underrated. And I think at least talking about it cures some of the homesickness I feel and spreads the word about it to my absolutely massive audience and fan base. Thank you, everybody. I love you. Please subscribe. I believe
Manny, Philippines,
I believe sharing food is so much more than just sharing food for the sake of it. It's about giving a feeling of community, smiles, and hospitality because that's what the culture is all about. Now, I might just be a fat ass, but I think sharing something to eat is the best way to introduce someone to your culture. And I can genuinely see a world where more Filipino restaurants pop out all over the place because I believe it's that good. Am I just speaking out of nostalgia and bias? No, that can't be it. Hey, did you miss me? Did you? No? No? Okay. Well, but I hope you did enjoy this video, and if it made you hungry in any way or you ate while watching this, ooh, good boy. Yes, you want to subscribe and leave a like and a please subscribe and leave a like and a comment down below about food or some shit. But that's all for now. Okay, bye-bye. I love you. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. I am poor. Thank you. Please give me all your clout so I can become a millionaire off of your attention. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm jaking it. Oh, so good.